That Soviet nuclear accident in the Ukraine created fallout today in Chicago.
It's now clear that the Soviet Union has suffered one of the worst disasters in the history of nuclear power.
And today, where we explore the most shocking and thought-provoking events in history. Today, we're going to delve into one of the most catastrophic nuclear disasters the world has ever seen, the Chernobyl disaster. On April 26, 1986, at 1:23 a.m., the unthinkable happened. The reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine, which was then part of the Soviet Union, suffered a catastrophic explosion. The blast was so powerful that it blew off the 1,000-ton lid of the reactor, releasing massive amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere. The disaster was a result of a safety test gone wrong. The test was designed to determine how long the turbines would keep spinning and generating electricity in the event of a loss of power to the main cooling pumps. However, the test was poorly designed and inadequately supervised, leading to a power surge that caused the reactor to overheat and eventually explode. The reactor's design was also a contributing factor to the disaster. The RBMK reactor, which was used at Chernobyl, was a type of graphite-moderated reactor that was prone to power surges. The reactor's designers had also made a critical error in the safety test, which led to the power surge that caused the explosion. The immediate aftermath of the disaster was chaotic. The nearby city of Pripyat was evacuated, and a 30-kilometer exclusion zone was established around the plant. The Soviet authorities tried to cover up the disaster, but the news eventually spread, and the world was shocked by the scale of the catastrophe. The evacuation of Pripyat was a massive undertaking. Over 100,000 people were forced to leave their homes, and many were never able to return. The city was left abandoned, a ghost town that remains to this day. Despite the catastrophic nature of the disaster, there were many heroes who risked their lives to mitigate the damage. The firefighters who responded to the emergency were exposed to extremely high levels of radiation, and many of them died in the months and years that followed. The liquidators, who were responsible for cleaning up the radioactive waste, also faced incredible risks. Many of them died prematurely, and those who survived often suffered from radiation-related illnesses. The liquidators' work was grueling and dangerous. They had to manually remove radioactive debris from the reactor site, often working in extremely hazardous conditions. Their bravery and sacrifice will never be forgotten. The Chernobyl disaster had a devastating impact on the environment. Radioactive material was released into the atmosphere, contaminating large areas of land and affecting millions of people. The nearby forests, known as the Red Forest, were particularly affected, with many trees turning a reddish-brown color due to the high levels of radiation. The disaster also had a significant impact on local wildlife. Many animals were affected by the radiation, and some species were even driven to extinction. The area around the plant remains contaminated to this day, and it will take centuries for the radiation to dissipate. The human cost of the Chernobyl disaster was staggering. Over 4,000 people died in the immediate aftermath of the disaster, and many more died in the years that followed from radiation-related illnesses. The disaster also had a significant impact on the mental health of those affected, with many people suffering from anxiety, depression, and PTSD. The area around the plant was heavily contaminated, and many businesses were forced to close. The local community was devastated, and many people were left without jobs or a source of income. The cleanup efforts after the disaster were massive. The Soviet authorities brought in thousands of workers to clean up the radioactive debris and decontaminate the area. The workers wore protective suits and masks, but many still suffered from radiation exposure. The cleanup efforts were also hampered by the lack of proper equipment and training. Many workers were not adequately prepared for the task, and some even died from radiation exposure. In 2019, a new safe confinement structure was completed over the damaged reactor. The structure is designed to last for at least 100 years and will help to contain the radioactive material and prevent further leaks. The Chernobyl disaster was a wake-up call for the world. It highlighted the dangers of nuclear power and the importance of safety and responsible management. The disaster led to a significant increase in safety measures at nuclear power plants around the world and the establishment of the World Association of Nuclear Operators. Today, the Chernobyl disaster is a reminder of the importance of prioritizing safety and responsible management in the pursuit of technological advancements. It serves as a warning to future generations of the devastating consequences of nuclear accidents. The Chernobyl disaster was a catastrophic event that had far-reaching consequences for the environment, human health, and the world at large. It serves as a reminder of the importance of prioritizing safety and responsible management in the pursuit of technological advancements. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more thought-provoking content.